Hello students, in this video we will discuss about electric field due to system of point charges. Suppose E is a point charge means we directly calculate the electric field. Collection of charges are given like Q1, Q2, Q3 and so on Qn. Therefore, the total number of electric field we have to calculate. The formula is E total equal to E1 bar plus E2 bar plus E3 bar plus and so on En bar. Now we substitute the value, common value, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon, we take it out. Therefore Q1 R1p square R1p cap plus Q2 R2p square R2p cap plus and so on Qn Rnp square Rnp cap, and the total value we have to take by summation. Therefore E total bar equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught summation I equal to 1 n Qi Rip square Rip cap. So this is known as the electric field due to system of point charges. Our next topic is electric field due to continuous charge distribution. So continuous charge distribution means, suppose this electric field values are discrete values. When we take a sphere, charged sphere or charged wire, million number of charges which are present inside. So here this formula we are not used. So we have to use calculus method when we have to calculate the electric field by the calculus method. Now we take one irregular object, charged irregular object. Here del q1 is a small element we have to take, and next another small element del q2 and third element del q3. When we consider the point P, the distance from del q1 to point P is r1, like del q2 to P is r2, del q3 to P is r3. And when we extend the electric field for del q1 del E1, del q2 del E2 and del q3 del E3, these are the electric field. Now the total electric field we have to calculate, that is E total bar equal to del E1 bar plus del E2 bar plus del E3 bar plus and so on del En bar. Then the approximate value is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught del q1 divided by r 1p square or 1p cap plus del q2 by r2p square or 2p cap plus del q3 r 3p square or 3p cap and so on. By means of summation we have to take. Here the value we are taking here approximate symbol. Why we are used approximate symbol means this object is a irregular object. We don't know the size of the object, that's why we are taken approximate symbol. Then summation formation, total value we are calculating by the summation formation 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught and summation of I equal to 1 n del qi divided by rip square rip cap. Now del q as small as possible. So compared to del q value is equal to 0 means this del q value, smallest value, we are considered as dq. So instead of del q we have to take dq. Therefore the formula written as E bar equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral of dq by r square into r cap. And this equation is known as continuous charge density. And next force we have to calculate as usual the product of charge into electric field. This is known as the force formula. And next we will discuss about, there are three groups, that is first one is if charge q is uniformly distributed along the wire of length L, and second one is if charge q is distributed on the surface of the area A, and third one is if the uniform charge is distributed in volume V. So this three subdivisions electric field will see one by one. Suppose if you take the wire, the lengthy wire of the charge Q and length is L. Now here we have to take lambda. Lambda is nothing but it is known as a linear charge density. Therefore lambda equal to Q by L. The unit is for Q coulomb and length meter, so the unit is cm minus 1. And next this Q value we have to calculate. Therefore lambda equal to Q by L, Q equal to lambda L. Then in this wire, a small area we have to calculate, the small element. In this small element, charge is dq and the length is dl. Take a point P at a distance r. Now the dq value equal to lambda into L value is dl. Therefore dq is equal to lambda into dl. Now we will substitute this dq value in that formula. E bar equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral of lambda dl by r square into r cap. Lambda is constant value, that's why we take it out. Therefore the electric field E bar equal to lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught integral of dl by r square into r cap. So this is the value of electric field for the length L. And next we will discuss about the surface area A. The surface we have to take this surface charge is Q and area is A, and small element area dA and charge dQ, point P at a distance r. So next here sigma we will introduce here, and sigma represents surface charge density. Therefore sigma equal to Q by A. The unit of sigma is cm minus 2. Therefore Q equal to sigma A. Instead of Q we have to write dQ equal to sigma into dA. E bar equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral of sigma dA by r square into r cap. Sigma is constant value, take it out. Therefore E bar equal to sigma by 4 pi epsilon naught integral of dA by r square into r cap. And next is third subdivision, the charge Q uniformly distributed in volume V. Now we can take one irregular volume. In this volume, the V is a volume, Q is a charge, and small element volume is dV, and then the charge is dQ, a point P at the distance r. As usual here we will take the rho is nothing but it is known as volume charge density, and rho equal to Q by V. Therefore Q equal to rho into V. The unit is cm minus 3 because volume value is m3, so cm minus 3. dQ equal to rho into dV. Substitute in electric field formula the value of dQ. Therefore E vector equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral of rho dV by r square into r cap, and rho value is constant, so we take it out. Therefore E bar equal to rho by 4 pi epsilon naught integral of dV by r square into r cap. So this is known as the electric field due to continuous charge distribution. The next topic is electric field lines. Actually this is known as the imaginary line. They form a set of continuous lines which are the visual representation of electric field in some region of the space. Let us discuss some of the rules of electric field lines. The first rule, if it is any isolated point charge, the direction is like that, and the direction of the isolated point charge is starting from at point charge and ending with the infinitive. The arrow mark is outwards. So positive charge means the arrow mark is outwards, but the isolated negative charge means the arrow mark is inwards. For this lines start the isolated negative charge starting from infinitive and end with the point charge. So this is the first rule. And next is second rule. Here in the first rule we are taken isolated charges, that is plus q and minus q separately we are taken, But in the second rule, we are taken both the charges in the same surface, plus q and minus q. First, plus q means the electric field lines is like that and arrow mark is like that. And second, electric lines we have to draw means like that the lines are there. And this is outwards and here it is inwards. Therefore, suppose in any of the line we are calculating the electric field means just we have to draw the tangential line. So the second rule, the electric field vector at a point in space, it is tangential to the electric field line at that point. So at any point we want the electric field, we just draw the tangential line. The tangential line which gives the electric field of that point. This is known as the second point. And next, third rule. In this third rule, first we are taking one isolated charge, positive charge. Outside so many number of electric lines are there. First, near the charge we have to draw one surface that is denoted as A, and the farthest distance we have to take another surface that is B. In this surface A, we have to see the line, so many lines are crossed, the number of lines crossed. But in this surface, less number of lines are crossed. That means the surface is near to the charge, that is more denser. Therefore, the electric field is larger. That is, magnitude of electric charge is larger. But the surface is away from the charge. There are lesser, denser lines are there. Therefore, the electric field is also lesser magnitude. So that we know that the electric field is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So when the distance is increased, the electric field decrease. And next we will see the fourth point. Electric field lines do not intersect. That is, first we have to take one electric field line, the arrow mark is like that, and second electric field line we have to draw like that, and this is known as the point of intersection. Suppose in that point one charge we have to take means the charge have only one direction of arrow mark. Suppose if you take this charge means the two sides arrow mark which are going to be represent. So this is not possible. That's why we say the electric field lines do not intersect. And next, fifth point. In this fifth point, first we have to take one point charge. The electric field lines are denoted like that. Suppose the point charge is plus 2q, that is the magnitude is increased. Magnitude is increased means 8 lines are there. Suppose if it is 3q means more number of lines are there. Therefore, what is the fifth rule? The field lines are increased only because of the magnitude of the charges, or field lines are directly proportional to the magnitude of charges. So that the field lines increased only because of this magnitude. So magnitude is increased, field line is increased.